Interesting to hear. We talk about different paintings that you've made that you like.
My favorite painting is the girl swimming.
Mm.
And that one was sort of taken from my imagination.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, so
Oh, no, keep
that was
talking.
sort
Then I'll
of,
tell you something.
yeah, so I paintings for me are a portal, like a connection to someone that's living or passed away,
Mm-hmm,
or
mm-hmm,
to a vision that you were trying
mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm. Okay.
bring into your life. At that
Right.
time, I was going through divorce,
Mm-hmm.
lots of unknowns, but this was the emotion that I wanted to be feeling, was basking in the sun, floating,
Wow.
not feeling the gravity. And this is not a portrait of me. This is a portrait of
Mm-hmm,
a
mm-hmm,
moment. And my other favorite paintings would be there's one of a puppy dog called Burrows, which was my first
mm-hmm,
commissioned pet portrait,
mm-hmm,
and he came through so strongly,
mm-hmm,
his spirit. And after that, there was a cascade of
mm-hmm,
pet portraits that came my way, and I felt like
mm-hmm,
he was um,
mm-hmm.
the guardian of like, all right, and now you're gonna do pets. um,
Yeah, yeah.
there was
Um,
another special painting of my grandma and my uncle standing in front of a very shiny car. And there's a picture on my Etsy shop of my dad holding the painting. I'd
mhm,
sent it to him.
mhm,
And as I looked into the photograph to paint it, I realized that my grandpa was sitting in the car and he looked really impatient. He had the hand on his wheel.
mhm,
And at that time, I think my grandma was had cancer, but
mhm,
since then, all of them are now deceased. So
mhm,
that painting was really special because now they're all still together.
mhm,
And my uncle had designed the dress she was wearing. My
mhm,
grandpa was driving them to the ball or something. And I don't know, that painting was just like twilight in the woods in Boston. By the way, right near Lexington, where the American Revolution like all
um,
happened. Very sacred ground there. But that painting was, it's not my favorite technical
mhm,
painting. There's
mhm,
something wrong with my
mhm,
uncle's face.
mhm,
But the feeling from that painting
mhm.
really, I feel it when I look at that. I feel like they're looking back at me. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, no, very interesting. Very interesting, Elspeth. So, as we know, we talked about how um I was so interested in this whole like the image that the idea that you have this healed image, right? Or the healing through images. And so how I guess we're gonna ask, right? How did you arrive at this practice?
Oh,
Uh,
so all right. So about 17 years ago, I was drawing in black and white, and I was trying
mhm,
to make it as an editorial illustrator in New
mhm,
York. So I decided to start a blog and draw celebrities, and it
mhm,
was called the Celebrity Perfumery. And I would like invent like a
mhm,
recipe of,
mhm,
because at that time everyone was creating their own uh,
mhm,
perfume. And I thought, yeah, but if you really wanted to smell like Britney Spears, it wouldn't be very nice. It'd be like
mhm,
crushed Vicodin and grape
mhm,
soda and perspiration and fake fur. And so I did like a DIY recipe of how to smell like these celebrities. And then I would do an illustration. But when I was doing an illustration of them, it was like I'd go into their energy for 3 days and it was really rough for some people. Kate Blanchett was great. And actually, I think she guards her energy so well that I couldn't really get a good, couldn't go in very far. But Brittany was having like a breakdown at the time. And when I drew her, I really like, I felt sick. I felt
mhm,
sad. And I really felt like I lost myself a little bit. And I thought, gosh, well, she doesn't have boundaries on her energy. And neither do I guess, because
mhm,
I couldn't turn it off and on.
mhm,
So then I had a tarot reading in Australia, and she said, oh, you're going to be doing color paintings and portraits of people. And I thought, oh my God, that is so cliched and
mhm,
obvious. I really don't think so.
mhm,
I was like, are you psychic or are you just like going with what everyone says? I'm trying to be different here, black and white
mhm,
only.
mhm,
Well, she was absolutely right. A
Mm,
couple of years later, I did find a paint set at a stoop sale, and I was just so drawn to it. And I thought I would, the editorial thing just wasn't working out. So I thought I would do personal portraits just for my
mm,
own enjoyment.
mm,
And I felt like I was really, it was like I'd arrived at home and I felt like I was in command of, I felt like I had a whole panel of artists like
mm,
coming through me and just like, all I had to do was just show up at the page and everything would just paint itself. So I was
mm,
like, well, that's pretty magic.
mm,
Then when commissions started coming to me, some of them were for people that had passed away, some of them were family members, and I would start getting a reading of the people I was painting, and for the people that passed away, when I was painting them how I was feeling them, which was healed,
mm,
full of light,
mm,
full of gratitude, just like their eyes were like
mm,
crystals that light up through the window, those hanging crystals.
mm,
And my style of painting really started to look like refracted light,
mm,
like as if you screen print and you can see the different layers of color.
mm,
That's sort of how my painting started coming. Uh, like this one I'm working on right now, sort of like when you look at a distance, all the colors merge together and you can see
mm,
it's green. But up close, you can see there's pink and
mm,
there's blue and there's colors that shouldn't be in there. But when you hold it back, it makes sense. And so each color is like an emotion. I
mm.
guess for other readers, it might signify like an aura or something, but it's like my mind's moving too
Mhm.
quickly to analyze what it is.
That's
It's
right,
just
of course,
like,
of course. It's your
it's like,
response.
oh, this memory that's buried in their shoulder feels like yellow. That feels like a childhood color. So it's just, that's how the colors come through.
Mm,
Um, so that's how it happened. I haven't yet done portraits of people that are living and that are sick
mm,
and need a healing. But
mhm,
that's where I'm headed.
mhm,
That's
mhm,
where I'd like to go.
mhm,
And because I can feel the power that it has done to restore connections with people that were so overcome with grief that they were sort of blocked by their own grief, that they couldn't
mhm,
remember their loved one as
mhm,
healthy. They were so like taking on their pain, but
mhm,
that person wasn't feeling that pain. So it was sort of causing
mhm,
a glitch in their connection. Um, I think I mentioned last time that I had a past life reading and I went into my own future
mm,
and I could see myself doing portraits like in-person sit-ins where I was doing a
mhm,
portrait of someone and they would be feeling the strong energy coming from me
mm,
and going through into them, and just even the experience of the portrait, which takes at least a few hours, if not
mhm,
weeks. But the fact that they were sitting there, they would feel the benefit of it too. So it was a healing experience. And then, of course, they'd be left with a painting.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
When they see that painting, it's a reminder of their new set point, which
Interesting.
is
That's right. That's right.
so. So
Right.
that was in my future. That's
Oh,
not
interesting.
something that I can say, oh, yes, I do this at the moment.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's where I'm.
Wow. Yeah. No, no, it's so interesting because I was telling you, of course, before that when I picture people healed, I picture them the highest, I picture the highest self in the healed form. Like that's why I always feel like the image is so important, and the fact that uh you're granting that. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Because okay, so because when you describe your paintings, you mentioned that you were intuitive painter. Is that how was it that you described it? I don't remember exactly, but like,
And an intuitive painter.
is that right? Is that how you described your work,
Yeah,
yourself? Yeah.
a painting
Healing,
healer.
Penny Hill, that's it.
Yeah,
So can you tell me more about the healing process, the way that you, because you said it like you painting healer.
painting healer. Yeah.
So
So,
yes.
um, it has always come organically to
Hmm,
me, but
hmm,
I'm becoming more and more conscious of it and having like a sense of ceremony around it. For example,
hmm,
I just like it's now a thing where when I set the crystals out and I light the candle, that's when the session starts. And when I blow the candle out, we're complete. And it just sort of like hanging up the phone.
Interesting.
um,
That's right. That's
so,
right.
and when I light the candle, um, that's when it's like I summon the energy through me and I wait for
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
impulse and then I drop in and I
Mm-hmm.
start applying the colors and it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's medicine. Like that needs some purple, that
Okay.
needs some
Okay.
green. Yeah. Yeah. Like you're cooking,
Mm-hmm.
exactly like you're cooking. And then
Mm-hmm.
you're like, oh, that's too salty. Let's tamper that down with some blue. It's exactly like cooking.
So in a way, one can describe your paintings as like a sort of like a healing process for the subject of the painting, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. It's like it's not just how do I replicate an
Mm-hmm.
image of this person? It's
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
what does this person need? I see the photo and I ignore the colors that I'm seeing. And instead, I
Mm-hmm.
paint them with, for example, in that painting of Kamala, she's wearing a black coat. Well, I felt prompted to do a sheet of red and
Mm-hmm.
then another layer of green and then another layer. So by the layers, it looks black at the end, but actually it's all the colors in the rainbow. And it was only when I stopped painting and I looked back and I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. She represents everybody.
Wow.
But it felt strange. That doesn't happen with every painting, but with her, it felt very important that like red. I guess you could analyze it, go red equals passion equals, but it's really like the colors are like the ingredients, like the medicinal, emotional ingredients, and this is what that
Mm-hmm.
person needs.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
need, and then I guess when the viewer sees it, and there are unexpected colors that come out, like they have blonde hair, but there's like specks of green and red, and it just, I guess, subliminally, maybe it removes them from their analytical mind and they're just sort of feeling the. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure how it works because it's very organic and
Mm-hmm.
intuitive for me. Intuitive is the
Mm-hmm.
best word, but I really feel
Mm-hmm.
like I have the experts behind me coming through me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They have a reason for every color. I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling the impulse of like, yep, you said red. That that feeling here means that color there. That's how I
Wow.
that's how I
That's
work it.
great. That's great. Wow, that's wonderful. That's exciting. So if someone who maybe watch you would like to, let's say, commission or order a painting, you have the Etsy store, right? That we talked about. And how
Yep,
long, like how, I mean, I'm sure you have it depends on how many people you have
right.
working on, right? So it could take a couple of months. How long would it take, usually?
I've got it down to about 3 weeks.
Okay, all right. Okay. Just
Kamala
interesting.
was like a week and a half,
Okay,
and I
okay.
didn't have anything else to work on at that time. So sometimes, if it's like a 9 by 12, it could take a week and a half of
Oh,
my
wow. Okay, okay.
working on it sort of every day around my day job.
Okay,
But I
okay.
I think 3 weeks is a good
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
parameter. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. Interesting. Very good. Very cool.
I set up a section in the Etsy store just for like the reading painting
Hmm. hmm
section because
hmm
then I'll also make a video for them
Okay.
and send that to them. So they
Okay.
have all the
Okay.
messages that are coming to me while I'm painting.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. Very
Did
interesting.
you get a chance to see the video I made of the making of the Kamala painting?
No, let's see. Let's see. I didn't click on all of it. Okay,
Yeah, so
so let's see. So video here.
I
I clicked on
started
it. Oh, that's right.
a YouTube channel
That's
last
right.
week.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Oh gosh, I had really sort of settled into like, oh well, this is a nice hobby that I'll just keep doing, but
Wow.
you
No, but
know,
I'll say it. I will also say it in the introduction that how unusual it was for me too, because I never encourage people to do art, like all seriously, because it's so
uh,
complicated, it's so hard, or whatever. But with you, it was clear to me, right? That that's what it was. It was meant to be.
well,
So,
yeah, it was the right timing too, because every
right,
other
right.
psychic has told me that. And I
Uh-huh.
thought, wow, how
Mm-hmm.
original.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah,
right. That's
I
right.
know I'm creative. Tell me something I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
there was something about I was ready to hear what you were saying, and I believed you. And I was like, that it felt shocking. It felt like,
Wow.
oh my gosh, yes. I had to reach the point of surrender where I was so willing to
Mm-hmm.
do
Mm-hmm.
something so different and become a completely different person, that's when I got to return home and just be myself
Wow.
and invest all that energy that I put
Mm-hmm.
into all
Mm-hmm.
the other jobs into being myself with intention and
That's right.
purpose.
That's right.
Felt so powerful.
Wow. Oh my God. So I have to tell you something I forgot to tell you. I picked up. Maybe so yesterday, was yesterday when I was looking at it, I swear I saw you in the White House. Like
You saw
that,
me in the White House.
yeah, would Kamala be president? You're painting her picture.
Yeah.
Because really, honestly, look, I'm not saying you shouldn't necessarily do it, but if for example you decide to do that, what was it? The thing that we talked about, the cups or whatever, like just do it as a
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
a merch kind of thing,
yeah.
because it will travel. It's such a
It'll
beautiful
travel.
image.
It'll end up in her
And
hands.
I
Yeah.
was like, I so once also I
Yeah.
have a link because I think I want to share with people and even her family members to go to their. I'll do it. You're not going to do it obviously. Like I don't think that I know how to, but people will like look at how beautiful this painting is, and I think like I totally see her commissioning you to do her portrait. Like I'm serious. Like I could totally, and I see you there like kind of shy, like no, because it's like you're meeting her there and everything.
Yeah.
So it's so cool. I love it. I'm excited. So imagine, like, seriously, you're like, oh, you did her
Yeah.
portrait. Like, then people are
Yeah.
gonna be like contacting you constantly to like make,
Yeah.
So that's so cool.
I saw her at the rally in Detroit and I
Uh-huh.
wasn't too far away from her.
Mm-hmm,
And I
mm-hmm,
was just looking at her
mm-hmm,
away from the jumbo screen, looking at her as a
mm-hmm,
person. I was
mm-hmm,
thinking, this person has a lot of energy and
mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm,
she has like you could see the bubbles in the
mm-hmm,
air. It was like
mm-hmm,
all the spirits
mm-hmm,
around her. Like she
mm-hmm.
had her own rally of spirit. It was
Wow,
like there were
wow.
like 15,000 people at that rally,
Mm-hmm,
but there
mm-hmm,
was like 75,000 spirits gathered around her.
mm-hmm.
It's like,
Wow,
yeah.
wow, amazing. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So